So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I'm doing this video before I get any kind of feedback about the episode, what people thought generally about it. So it's gonna be weird kind of giving my opinions when I don't really know. I don't like have a feel for what anyone else thinks, but sure, fuck it, we're just gonna go ahead. No matter what way you look at it, this episode was absolutely huge. I mean, so much happened and I am just sad. Okay, listen. Spoiler alert, although I'm guessing like you wouldn't be watching this video if you haven't seen the latest episode of Fear. John Dory, beautiful little bitch that he is, ended up dead and walkerified. I just have so many thoughts on this, alright? So, I thought it was interesting that we got to see him talk a lot about his dad and not his upbringing, but just the situation with his father. That his father apparently went through something very similar, that, you know, he kind of fucked off to a cabin by himself and was like, well, this is my life now. It kind of explains a little bit of John, I guess. But I still kind of stand by the fact that I feel like it was sort of out of character. He kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I felt like he was I feel like he was given like a brief kind of few episodes of being happy with June, and then they just went their separate way and he just decided to go to the cabin and that was it for him. And I loved the symbolism with the walkers that were continuously coming up to his door. That it was like the past was coming and knocking and he had no door. So he had to keep shooting them. He had no other choice. I thought that was really interesting. And it's interesting that the walkers are what kept him alive in that situation. What was your one's name? Was it Virginia or is that the Peter Pan looking lady? I'm terrible with names. You know what I'm on about anyway. Your one's little sister, the one that ended up killing John. I feel like their whole kind of arc was unexpected, I guess. We saw it with Charlie in an earlier season. Like, we saw Charlie go from being the kind of outsider, the misunderstood one. Charlie then killed Nick, but went on to become part of our group. And it's like, I don't see that happening again. I feel like that was very much a once-off. So when you see her argue with Morgan on the bridge, and she's like, no, like, I want to be part of your new community. First of all, bitch, god damn no. But it was interesting to see her talk to John as well about everything and have everything kind of come to light. You can see the light bulb moment go off in John's head where he's like, wait, that was all you? I didn't expect her to shoot him, I'm not gonna lie. And then when we saw him come up out of the water, I thought he'd be fine. I thought he'd be okay. He kind of came up and was holding on to a bit of wood floating downstream. I thought, oh yeah, he'll be grand. So the fact that we got to see him as a walker made it really rough. And I hated seeing him like that, but at the same time I'm glad that we got to see him that way, because it made his death really impactful and really like harsh. I just found it really, really tragic. There's somebody who spent a whole episode talking about, you know, dying and talking about struggling with thoughts like that. Then to have him have that big heart-to-heart with Morgan, where Morgan was like, you're the reason I kept going, like, you found me and you brought me in and you made me part of your life. Let me do the same. We had that really big emotional moment, and then it just amounted to nothing because he died anyway, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because it's like, there is hope out there, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they should have gone one way or the other. They should have had Dory struggle with those kind of thoughts and those feelings of like, well, what now? What do I do? What do I live for? Have him struggle with them, talk to Morgan, deal with it and work it out, or cut that and then just have him die and be walkified at the end. Putting them both together just kind of felt a little bit weird for me, that like, it felt like death was kind of the only option for Dory looking back on this episode now, and I'm like, I don't like that, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it was a good send off to his character, getting to see him walkify, getting to see June be the one to put him down, because she's the only one who could have, you know what I'm saying? But then that's going to have a knock-on effect on her, and it's going to be super rough on her. I don't know, there was just something so Glenn and Maggie about it all. I guess because, like, hello, you have a couple that is so cute and great together. I mean, yeah, they were going through a little bit of a rough patch. John and June, yes, they were. But it was, I don't know, it was a very Glenn and Maggie moment where you have the two of them. Now, June's going to have to go on without him, and it's going to be a whole thing, and it's going to be like, every time I see her, I'm going to be like, oh my god, she's got a dead husband. And it's just going to be so upsetting. I think she might go off the rails a little bit, because now she's going to be second guessing kind of everything that she did, and did she make the right decision, blah blah blah. I liked it, and it was unexpected. Like I said, I don't know, you get so used to like plot armor, or you get so used to certain characters being around that you forget that this is a thing that can happen, and then one of your favourite character dies and you're like, I want to go eat cement right now. John was the kind of character that made me really love the show at a time where it was kind of hit and miss. When the show was dipping, and when he entered it, it was like, I don't know. I feel really fucking sad and like shitty about this. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm just like disappointed. Absolutely stellar acting from everybody as usual. Like the actors in this show are just next level. It's insane. Morgan was really honestly stand out though for me. Having him have that discussion with John and then having him have the discussion with the kid as well, where he kind of came to the realization that she was the one that saved him or she was the one that helped him or whatever. My man, he's been through so much, right? Morgan started off in The Walking Dead, had to lose his family, and then went a little bit clear mode, and then became part of our community in The Walking Dead, and then went, you know what? No, actually, I'm over this. Fuck this. Bye-bye. Ran across the fucking country, dipped into fear, was a little bit unsteady, and then was building a life. You know, and then now with this new arc that he has gone on where he's like building a new safe community, which, let's face it, how long is that going to last? Because my man was like, it's going to be safe, it's going to be great, I'm going to build a community. And then one thing goes wrong and he's on the walkie to Dwight and he's like, listen, you're going to need to put up some kind of gate. I might have started a war. Or I might be in the midst of starting a war, I'm not sure yet. But prepare. Morgan is just a fucking incredible character. But yeah, I liked, as like an intro, kind of easing you back into the episode as a mid-season premiere, I really did enjoy it. I'm so salty. Listen, they killed my favourite character, alright? I was never gonna be okay with this, and I probably never will be. I'm cursed. When it comes to this show, I'm cursed. Every time I pick a favourite character, they end up getting deaded. So, if anyone lays a fucking hand on Strand, I swear to God, I'm gonna snap. But now we move into the kind of other fuckery of this new community. Is it going to work? Are we going to be able to build it? Are we going to be able to keep it safe? Is Miss Peter Pan going to come in and ruin everything? Or Patricia Pan, whatever it is that we're calling her. Her sister as well. She needs a rude awakening. She needs to be like put in a cell somewhere, given a stern talking to and a strict bedtime. She just killed my favourite character. So I kind of am in the camp of, well, just let her go away into the distance by herself. But we'll see what happens there. I don't think they're going to pull a Charlie because we already had that. But, you know, maybe Charlie, we did see it in an earlier episode, maybe Charlie will try to like have a heart to heart and communicate with her. And I'm like, Charlie, no baby, you've grown, you've matured past that. She has not. And I'm just, what is it with kids in the show killing my favourite characters? Tell you, kids, man, just never fucking trust them. We have the whole Grace is pregnant storyline and all the shit that's going to go on with that. So I am excited to see where that progresses to and what lengths Morgan will go to find Grace and to get her back. So shit's about to hit the fan. It was a great intro episode. It was just hard to watch. Yeah. So that's it for this video, you guys. If you want to see more content from me, link to my Patreon is down below, where I do a reaction to a whole bunch of shows. At the moment, there's ongoing reactions to Sabrina, The Punisher, Daredevil. I'm doing the Star Wars movies. There's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The 100. Can't remember if I've said that already. Lucifer. There's also extended reactions to reactions that I put up on YouTube. So the extended versions of them goes up over there. So yeah, the link is down below. The link to my Twitter and my Instagram is also down there if you want to come over, say hello, whatever. And yeah, buckle the fuck up, princess, because I feel like it's going to be a bumpy, wild half of a season. And honestly, I am so fucking excited.